Hello viewers, Tim Paul here with the Huddle, and I'm with Stuart Hunter, MD of Clarion Gaming. Stuart, thanks again for coming down.
Absolute pleasure, Tim. Good to see you here at ICE Barcelona.
Yeah, it's great to keep up our tradition of reflecting at the end of the show. Key takeaways for you from what you've learned this year?
No, I think it was always going to be a kind of a challenge really for that second edition. I think the first edition, in the most part, went really well, considering all of the logistical challenges of making it from London to Barcelona. So this year was just about finessing, about understanding how we can make those micro improvements, and also just, I guess, some curiosity to see, look, people gave great feedback. What was the attendance going to be like? Are more people kind of interested in coming this year around? And it looks like it's been that way. So yeah, so far so good.
Yeah. Increased size of the show. I think it's noticeable just because, well, firstly, I was injured last year, so I couldn't walk around that much. Now that I can, I'm like, this is a big venue. But how have you guys kind of managed that, navigationally, and just the fact that, yeah, even though it was a massive show last year, it's just that bit bigger this year?
Yeah, I think last year we wanted to have our affiliate event, or the same arrival experience, just to help that orientation and make sure that both shows could kind of bed in here quite successfully. But it was clear really from even before we ran the show last year that IGB affiliate needed more space. So that's made it a migration to Hall 8, which is at the north side of the building. It gives it a dedicated entrance, which is great because it has its own community. And then we've allowed ourselves from Hall 2, really from an online perspective, to spill into Hall 1. But we really were quite particular of the brands that went into 1 to make sure that it had that differential, which I think we've achieved. So look, people's familiarity with the venue for most that came last year has improved, and I've heard that mentioned to me a lot of times this week. Just some more familiar, and the orientation and people's time is more efficient. So just, simple, better wayfinding, some use of some good digital aspects there, but just to keep things simple, be really clear and intentional about what we're doing, where is it, and how it works, and just let people enjoy the 3 days that they've been here, really.
Some really cool features, some that we previewed before the show, like the McLaren. I saw some FIFA action, which, I was looking at these guys thinking, how do they get so good? I try, my living room.
Yeah, they're amazing, aren't they?
Yeah, but how do you think those have been received, and are you happy with how they've got those little tweaks have gone down?
Yeah, McLaren's a fun one, actually. It was a new partnership that we put in this year, and my background before taking on ICE in 2019 and the gaming portfolio events was in the consumer world. That was my background for about 15 years, so really passionate about bringing some different experiences. And even after COVID, right, with the team, we sat down and thought, well, look, if people are going to invest their time, make the effort to fly over to see us in Barcelona or London back then, let's make sure we reward them with some fun alongside the business centricity. So yeah, just some new partnerships, and McLaren's been good. There's been some test drives that have been happening around the venue. I guess the first couple of days it's quite wet here with the weather, so made that a bit trickier, but today it's nice and dry and sunny, so there's a few more of those happening. But yeah, really good. I think we get all the feedback from the features and the experiences from the market over the next couple of months, and some stick around, some get reimagined. It just depends on what the industry wants and needs, really. But some fun stuff in the show this year.
How do you reflect on the panels? I know there have been some really good quotes. We've taken some sound bites onto our live desk on the show. Sue Kim, Alejandro Atenco from PAGCOR, just some really interesting snippets. So I imagine the full panels were even better.
Yeah, there's been some really good reception really for some of the panels this year. I guess what we try to do is create something really different. We tend to go away from some of the kind of out of industry big speaker names that you might see at other kind of B2B trade shows, and really try and get access to those behind the scenes type C leaders. And I think we've done that with Sue Kim being a really good example. But yeah, it's been as always, a really varied split of conversations. Myself, yesterday, I took a tour from a delegation from the UAE, which is great. They were involved in some panel sessions earlier on with the GCGRA, but able to tour them around the show, introduce them to 5 or 6 of our key suppliers, and the suppliers gave presentations and talking through some of their products and services, and that excitement for that region is building. So it was great to be able to facilitate that here at ICE Barcelona.
Yeah. A final question from me, and this is a question internally we've been asking everyone in the team, so I've answered it as well. ICE Barcelona 2026 in one word.
Progress.
Oh, fantastic. The word I went with was gigantic.
It's a pretty good word. It is pretty big, as you know, getting around, especially when the show's full. And we're expecting about 65,000 attendees here this week. So it has been busy. It does require a lot of planning. So people are planning earlier than ever before, really. But yeah, it's been a good show. But yeah, I think gigantic's fair comment.
Yeah, I think progress is a good summation as well. Well done on the show this year. Best of luck for next year and for the rest of 2026 as well. Thanks for joining us. So, Stuart.
Thank you, Tim. Appreciate it.